The pictures tell the story. This life had many shades. I'd wake up every morning and before I'd start each day, I'd take a drag from last night's cigarette that smoldered in its tray. Down a little something, then be on my way.
What up, guys? How's everybody doing? Hey, I was thinking about this since we're doing an age statement show. It kind of bounces off Myelin Nation.
It does.
It totally does. I was thinking about that while I was playing in the background. I was like, dude, that is really neat that we could have actually brought that to the forefront, the Myelin Nation conversation, because you can look at that and the ages of bourbon and whether or not certain bourbons have a better taste, or I don't even know if that's the right term. You just have more desire for them. Like, for example, I'm having the Knob Creek 12 tonight. All right. I'll be honest with you. I like the 9 better.
Yeah.
And of course the 18 is much better, but I'm just saying the 12 has never been one of my favorites by any means. So that's a 12-year I'm not a big fan of. However, Eagle Rare, 10-year, each and every one. Love that. That's fantastic. I've claimed that's the best bottle of bourbon, if it was available, you can find that could be out there for in the wild at any given time. Though things have changed with allocations and stuff, so I don't know. Anyway, guys, everybody, welcome to the show. I'm sorry I got to sidetrack talking about Myelin Nation, but and for those who don't know what it is, just look it up, Google it. It starts with a My and ends with a nation. All right, guys.
Wow. Buried the lead on that one. I guess I'll just tell everyone what I'm drinking tonight. I literally just picked this up. This is the first bottle I might have bought for myself like this year. It's literally been that long since I bought anything for myself. Bardstown, the Fusion series. This is the number 8.
Which just came out, by the way, too.
Wonderful caramel bomb. It starts out with kind of like your traditional oak spices and stuff like that, mellows into like a very, very sweet caramel and just smooth, kind of short finish. Really no heat on the end.
Did you say smooth? We talked about that last week.
Okay. Did I say it? I guess I said it.
Hey, why don't you read the age statement on the side? It'll tell you what it's married with.
Yeah, it's let's see here. Well, it's a mix of 3 different blends,
right?
But it looks like 2 4 years and a 12-year. So what they do in Fusion, and you already know this, obviously, Jody, but they take some of their younger product, and then they blend it out with something that has been aged much longer. So you've got 2. One is it's like 58% of this. It kind of heavy on the corn. 2 mash bills that are pretty heavy on the corn. Well, actually, all 3 are 75, 70, and 78% corn on each of them, which is why it's so dang sweet, because you got to have a lot of that, like that sweet corn kind of sweetness to it, which I get on the caramel. But yeah.
Nice.
So it's a mix of age statements, truthfully.
By the way, I just heard that Copper Sky, they put out their new shipping map, and Tennessee is one of those places now that they can ship to.
Nice.
So that makes me super
wonderful.
excited.
Yeah,
we might finally find it on the shelves here.
Yeah, locally. I would love to get some.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, I know I can reach out to Mike privately. I mean, I'm going to pay for it, and he's going to ship it to me. But it'd be so much nicer if I could just go to my local and just pick it up.
Sure.
Anyway, Chuck, how you doing, man? And welcome to the show. And what are you drinking?
I'm doing well, thanks. Tonight I'm drinking Four Roses single barrel. It's a Maryland. Specifically picked for Maryland, the 11th edition. It's an OBSF, 10-year, 8 months. Here's the front label, side label. Nothing spectacular as far as labeling goes with these. It's on the nose. I get a lot of like mint, of course, and a little chocolate, which is really nice. Juicy fruit gum, and it just has that smell of that juicy fruit gum to it. It's incredible. I know juicy fruit doesn't last long.
Fooled them all, Chief. I couldn't help myself.
Anyway, so let's move over to
The taste comes off. What was that about anyway? Move them all, Keith.
Dude, who what?
What was that? What you mentioned?
I
Move
said
it
you
on.
fooled them all, Chief. It's a
Yeah.
it's a reference to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, okay. I should've
Jack
gotten
Nicholson's character was talking to
Okay.
Chief, the big Indian guy.
Oh,
They
yeah,
called
yeah, and he
Chief.
hands him
had
the-
that
the
wonderfully
juicy
racist
fruit,
nickname. Yeah, and he was like, juicy fruit. It was like the first time he spoke.
That's when he starts to get
Yeah.
him to talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this stuff is actually pretty good. I mean, it's a little tannic, but other than that, it's really good for the price point. I think it was around $68.
what do you mean by tannic?
It has a
That may be
Like-
a Maryland term. I've never heard that used as an
It's
adjective.
a, it's a
Tannin,
wine
like-
term.
It's a what?
It's wine.
Wine.
Heavy,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
heavy
that's
wine.
fine.
Tannins.
Yeah, heavy
Yeah.
wine.
yeah, but it's got like it's not an astringency to it, but it's a very strong taste that I get in my basically mid palate on my tongue. That it's a little off-putting, I guess. It's more like a leathery, but not leather, but I guess if you could, I don't even know how to say it.
I would say acidic leather.
Yeah. Yes.
This
Acidic
next part of
leather.
the show is brought to us by Wrangler belts.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
the BBC. How about you, man? What are you drinking? And welcome to the show, man. It's good to see you, brother.
Hey, good to see you guys too. I've been running like hell today.
Are you back
So-
home?
Yeah, I'm home. I'm back at Navy Yard in DC next week.
Mm.
But yeah,
I
so I'm
hate the
sipping.
parking there. That's the worst.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. It is fucking terrible. Excuse me. So I am sipping Crooked Water.
I
Woman
seen
on
you
the
post
story.
that last night.
Crooked
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, it's from Minnesota. It's not bad. I got to figure out what their process is. They don't say. They hint at shit, but they don't say what it is. And they mention this smokiness. I don't know if I get smoky. I get almost like a toasted caramel. I don't know. It's an odd. I like it. It's something odd. I can't place it. I think I'm gonna send. If I can find a bottle, I'll send you one, Chuck. I picked this up at my spot in Kansas City. That's why I love that shop. They get some of the just some of the different bottles you can't find.
What's the
Wow.
age statement on it?
They say 2,
Oh, you can give it to Chuck.
but I don't. I don't know. What my guess is, what my guess is, and they don't say it. I got to do some research. I think they're using smaller barrels, and I
Okay.
think they're putting some staves in the barrels
Okay.
Mm.
because there's no way you're getting this color
That'll speed it up.
Off of 2
Yeah.
years.
for 2
Oh.
years.
Yeah, it's like almost red.
Yeah, it's dark. I mean, it's
Mhm.
not bad at all. It really isn't
No,
bad, but it drinks a little young, but not as young as you would think.
So
when
it
you see
had, so
2
it's
years.
bright, is what I'm hearing.
I could see bright. Yeah, I would say bright. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Gino, man, welcome to the show, brother. What do you got?
Hey,
What are you drinking?
I am drinking Davis's County. Their limited edition, finished in French oak casks. 96 proof, supposed to be 4 years. It's a blend between their rye mash build and a wheated mash build. And as far as on the nose, I get the vanilla and the caramel. They come right out. A little bit of honey hiding around the background. On the palate, I mean, the honey and vanilla come through major right there at the very beginning. And then there's a chocolate and almost like, I would say, like a coconut with it as well. About midway through. And then the oak comes on at the very end and just a spicy oak finish that lingers. It's pretty nice. I was rather surprised. I just bought it because, hey, it was something new on the shelf.
There you go.
Sometimes
Nice.
you have to do that.
Sounds good.
Rob, what about you, man? Welcome to the show. Good to see you again.
Hey, nice to see you, my friends. I just went a little easy tonight and do a little Maker's Mark French Oaked. I was looking for an age statement on the bottle. It doesn't really have one, so it's a no age statement bottle. It's the one that they finished. They put 10 per the bottle, 10 virgin French oak staves into the barrel to finish it. So
Yeah, but I
Nice.
think all of Makers is supposed to be a minimum of 4 years. Isn't that right, Chuck?
I believe so.
I think that's what they advertise, with their selects being 6+.
right,
Yeah, and they don't go over at that age statement either. They haven't done
Yeah.
that yet, and I don't
Yeah,
know
all
if they
the-
ever will.
all the private barrel stuff is a little higher. It's a
Yeah, I
little,
think it's 6 years is what
Yeah, I
the
think
private
so.
select. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, cool, man. Well, Mr. Cafe 305, Billy.
Yes,
The
sir. What's going on, gentlemen? How's
Apparently,
everybody?
he was checking his portfolio
What's that,
because he was
Billy?
looking down at his phone. So, how you doing? And what are you having to drink tonight, buddy?
Actually, I was signing bottles. I got another batch getting ready to go out. And tonight I am having a little high class H2O because I am off tomorrow and I plan on getting hammered. So I'm taking it easy
Take it easy
tonight.
tonight.
You're taking it easy tonight so you can party hardy
You
tomorrow.
put the hurt on tomorrow. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna do at least 2 cigars and I'm gonna kill the Uncle Nearest tomorrow.
Mm.
And thanks to Mr. BBC over there, the wife went to the liquor store and she bought the Bacardi 8.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Mark had brought that down when he came here. We had it, and it was really, really good. So I actually shipped one back to him. But me and the wife bought it, and I guarantee you, as soon as the thing got opened, it was almost instantly gone. Like, instant.
That's probably the best Bacardi on the shelf.
Mhm.
Listen, if it wasn't for the fact that we had some bullet laying around, it would have been in the recycling bin by now.
So I take it Bullet though, outside of this Bacardi, is the house favorite.
Well, my wife loves the Bullet and she loves the Screwball, so she always mixes
okay.
it with Coke. She's gonna shoot me after this, but the wife is a little bit of a lightweight, so she just gave me the look.
I had nothing to do with that.
So she has to mix. I rarely mix my stuff, so I'm down to that much of Uncle Nearest. And I was very, very fortunate to receive Dad's hat the other day. So thank you, Gino. And you know, I'm looking to destroying some bottles. I was like, shit, I gotta open some of this stuff.
There you go.
Very cool.
So
Well, guys, I'm glad everybody's here tonight. This is a full cast. I enjoy it. Glad to get to see all you guys. So, the premise of this show is to talk about age statements and do they really matter? You know, and I would say for certain, anything that's not over 4 years, it's really hard for me to find it to be palatable, right? Because I don't like the brightness of a young whiskey or bourbon. I don't guess it'd be a bourbon, but you know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, but is there a point where you look at it and go, this is not, I mean, like Blue Note 17, a lot of people have to have it. I have a bottle. It's good. But I think, you know, what's called jukebox?
Juke joint.
Juke joint.
Juke joint.
It's better.
I think if you find those
That's
in
gone
a
up on
store
price
pick,
too, by the way.
and you find those in a store pick, those are fantastic, right?
Yeah, they are.
And the Blue Notes are fantastic, right? So that's kind of where, I mean, so a 17-year doesn't really do it for me with that. Now I don't even know if that's their juice either for a 17-year. It may be MGP. I didn't look at the bottle. I guess I could go in there and look real quick, but I don't know if it's really relevant. But you know, I'm kind of curious what the rest of you guys think about age statements, and is older whiskey actually better?
well, you know what I think? I think when it comes to a particular bottle, I think the age statement might play a little bit more into it. So of course, you know, you got Eagle Rare, so you know that's a 10. So we're always happy about that. You know, I feel that's a solid pour no matter who you are. And it's even still hard to get your hands on. But like say we was talking about just before the show and earlier in the show, the Knob Creek 9. I happen to love the Knob Creek 9 more than any other thing that they offer.
Yep.
You know, so Would I care for anything over the 9? Not really. Not from what I've tasted.
Mm.
You know, my palate is not as refined as some of you other guys, but I know what I like. So when it comes to 9 Creek, if I can get my hands on a 9, I'm good. I would probably walk past a 12 just to get the 9.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
It's because the rest of it be backed out the hole. Anyhow, moving on. What about the rest of you guys? What about somebody else?
So I'll say this. If you had asked me this question, and we probably talked about it back in 2020, I would say, hell yeah, it matters. Today, not as much. It does, but not as much. 3 years ago, I would have turned my nose up at pretty much anything that I knew was under 4 year, but they're getting creative now. Like I said, you go on these smaller barrels, they're adding staves. And while some of those are definitely a miss, there's a few hits in there. So I in terms of like a perfect age for me, I would probably say 4 to 10 year. 4 to 7, 4 to 8 is my perfect. Like, you know, I got some 10 years I love. Eagle Rare is one. But in general, when you get beyond 12 years, there's a few there's some good standouts in there, but a lot of those that are, you're getting that 15 plus year, it's just oak. And I'm not mad at that, but you know, if I'm going to pay that much money for it, I want something other than oak. I don't want to taste the chewing wood.
I hear you and I agree with you in a lot of aspects, except for the part where if it's younger than 4 years, I'm still having a hard time with that personally. It's too bright for me. But like George T. Stagg, you know, I'm not sure what the age statement is on that, talking about the senior, but that's an old whiskey and you can taste it.
Yeah.
And you know, as mad as we may want to be at, you know, certain years that one variant's better than, you know, one batch is better this year than it was last year or whatever.
Tastes good.
Every one of them tastes great. Like none of us are going, you know what? I'm just going to kick this shit and do a drain pour or whatever, right? None of us are doing that because it's fantastic. So would we argue that's a perfect age? I mean, I don't remember what year age statement it is for George T. Stagg Sr., but
it's around 15 to 19, depending upon the year that you know they put it out.
Okay, so 15 to 19 there. So that would encompass the 17 that I said earlier. So I wonder if it's the process, maybe where it's located in the rick house, maybe would be another aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a part of like within the rick house as well, like a certain level that maybe produces a better quality of age than, you know, lower ones? I'm sure this is stuff they're practicing.
Oh yeah. No
you
doubt.
know, so I don't know. That's something's curious to me. What about you, Chuck? What do you think?
I don't tend to get wrapped up, you know, like a lot of people do with it. You know, I see a lot of the newer people that are getting into it get wrapped up in age statements because it's the cool thing to do and all that, you know, like the Blantons and getting into the Buffalo Trace and anything that Sazerac produces. But I tend not to get wrapped up in that because of the fact that, say you take a Elijah Craig barrel proof and you know, you have the 12-year barrel proof releases each year. There's 3 of them. You get the A123 5 B523 and so on and so forth. They're 12 years, and everybody seems to use those as the standard for everything else. Then you have the Elijah Craig store picks or private picks, which can be 8, 9, 10 year. I don't know if I've ever seen an 11 year. It's possible, I guess. But you can't really look at it from an age statement because, like Jody said, you have areas in the rick house that, you know, they pick these, like say, for example, the Elijah Craig A123 and the barrel proof 12-year line. They have that already mapped out where they pick those from. They know year after year that they're picking those up from this area here, this row, that rack, and then everything else around it gets used for something else. They don't tend to deviate much from that, if any at all.
Yeah, to
from
keep
where
the
they pull those.
consistency of it.
They
Yeah.
keep it consistent. Once they got that map, now they use that, just like Sazerac would with George C. Stagg, or say the Pappy Van Winkle line. They do the same thing.
Now, both of those are in their own rick houses, though, right?
Yes, yes. And
So that would
you
also
have-
bring up a geographical location as well, because certain areas may get more sun, may be up on a hill, so that slight.
you have
variation.
environmental conditions
Yeah.
as well. That's all things that they have to look at. And just because it's an 8-year private barrel Elijah Craig, and I'm just using them as an example, because that was one of the things that came up in a few groups lately with private barrels versus the 12-year barrel proofs. People were saying, well, it can't be any better than a 12-year. I'm not buying that because it's a store pick. It's got to suck. No, actually, they don't.
No.
There
I
are
actually
some
have
good
one.
ones out there.
David got me one, and that private select that I have, private barrel. I'm sorry, barrel proof is fantastic.
Yep.
There are some very good ones out there.
Yeah, that
I'm
came
enjoying
from
mine.
Murfreesboro too. if I
Yeah,
remember
it was
correctly.
a store pick, I think.
Yeah,
But
Murfreesboro.
Liquor Planet, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm enjoying the one I've got. Matter of fact, I went and picked up a second one because it was so damn good.
And
There
when
you
they're picking those, say it's an 8-year versus those 12 years that everybody's after, or whatever else, 17 years or whatever it may be. They basically pick those at their utmost maturity. The people that work at these facilities, that's their job to, test them on occasion and test them for, being, well, will they be over oaked because they're in this certain area that picks up a lot of sunlight or heat, or, cooler temperatures. So, they know what they're doing
Well, of course they do.
And-
I agree with
yeah.
you there. I mean,
because they've had enough time to do it, and
Yeah.
over the years they get good at it.
and then now they're putting that $1.7 billion or whatever it is into expanding the line at Buffalo Trace. I'm curious. That's going to be an interesting future of not only investments in the world of whiskey, but the quality of whiskey, what we're going to get. I mean, because quite honestly, much of what might be in that $1.7 billion investment, we may never see, or
Right.
may come out when we're in our 70s. Like it's not something that's going to be out next week or
Right.
in 2 weeks or whatever, right? So I don't know. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. What about the rest of you guys? What do y'all think?
I'm pretty much just like Mark was. The sweet spot that I found is, in that 4 to 7 year range. I mean, some of the stuff that I found, it's absolutely delicious. I like that Elijah Craig bottle or store pick that I got, 8 years. Very good. That Ezra, old Ezra, 7-year rye.
7 year.
Absolutely delicious. I mean, I've the Knob Creek 12, it's a good bourbon. Would I buy it? Nope. Matter of fact, I walked past it, picked up the Davies County
Mhm.
and another Sagamore. It's sitting there on the shelf. It's okay, but it's not what I want.
Yeah, I feel you there because, like, for me, like I have, that's what I'm having tonight. That between that and Big Mustache, so I like the 12-year, but I think you brought up a very valid point. Like, if any of us walk past Blanton's at MSRP,
No.
I'm still gonna buy it. I'll be honest with you. At MSRP, I'm gonna buy it every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna walk past it, and it's only because I want to make sure I don't run out of it because I do love it. All right, it's not. I'm not gonna pay the crazy prices they have them for them now, but I do love it. Right? If I could get George T. Stagg Senior every time at MSRP and it was plentiful on the shelf, I'm not gonna walk past it at any point. Right? The reason why I say that is because Knob Creek 12 for me is kind of like that. I feel like I can get it whenever I want it. And so I don't need to stockpile it, if that makes any sense.
I got you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or backfill it,
Mhm.
So and maybe I'm wrong because I know it only comes out twice a year or once a year. So, but it does seem to stay on the shelves a little bit longer than some of the other things, like Barrel Proof Elijah Craig.
Boom.
You better be there early, or go to one of the stores that's going to molest you, right? Because that's the only thing you're going to get out of it. In the private selects or private barrels, they're even harder to get, in my opinion. But
Jody, I got a quick question for you. If you had to choose, say you saw Blanton's at 90, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you saw Eagle Rare at, let's say, 70.
I already know the answer to this question.
Which one you going for?
I'm going to get Eagle Rare.
Bingo.
I've already seen him do it. Like I saw him do it in person.
And my whole thing is this: if I would rather run out of Blanton's before I run out of Eagle Rare.
I'm running low on Eagle Rare right now. I'll be honest with you, but I'll be down in Florida next week, so hopefully I can find some.
Right?
Because I haven't seen it. That's not true. I have seen it, but everybody's wanting to do those stupid bundles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'll buy the whatever, the Wheatley's or whatever else you want to sell me. But can I just leave it here? Can you just charge me for it? Just leave it here. I feel like I'm just going to take it outside and throw it in the trash.
I had somebody offer me $600 for the Magnum of Eagle Rare that I have. And I was like, no, I'm just going to keep it. It was crazy because I paid $90 for it.
Wild.
Yeah, I see Eagle Rare when it's out. I can see it fluctuate from anywhere from the lowest I've seen recently is $49. Wow. And I did buy it up, and then, of course, that's the reason why I can't go there and get it anymore. It's gone. And then I've seen it as high as right at $100, and I didn't buy it because I'm like, dude, I'm not paying $100 for something that should be comfortably around $49, $50, $60 at most, right? And I think $60 is outlandish too on it, to be perfectly honest.
You know the right people, you can still get it for 38.
Hey, Jody, remind me. I might have another because I discovered when I sent Billy one, and I discovered I had a couple, but I gifted one to my uncle, so I'm not sure. I might have another one left though.
That'd be great, brother.
Remind me, just please remind me because I'll
and
forget.
Then I'll send you a message right now.
Oh, shit.
What about you, Chuck? I mean, I know you have some of the unicorns out there, but if you had to go up and you walk on the shelf and you see Eagle Rare and Blanton sitting there, which one you going for? Both of them are reasonably priced, but you can only pull the trigger on one.
Oh, I'm going with Eagle Rare.
Me too.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
So here's my question to everybody. I feel like most of us would do the same.
Mm-hmm.
So are we just over Blanton's as a group?
No, the one thing to keep in mind is that, and I picked one up today. John J. Bowman has a single barrel, and it's basically Blanton's that's trucked over to Virginia.
Yep.
And then it's given one more process and stripped a little bit more. And there you go. It's in a bottle for $49.99.
Yep.
And
I didn't know that. I was just up there with them, so I should have asked that question, but I didn't know that.
And the reason I kind of bring it up because my niece just moved to Japan, and she came across the bottom and bought it for me. The blends that you get in Japan.
The black one,
The black or the red.
Yeah,
the black
So
yeah, I said it.
So the thing is now is try to figure out is how to get it over here. Because I don't know if I want that in the mail. Well, she's on a military base, so that might help.
Oh, if it's a military base, you can totally do it.
Is she Air Force?
Army, I think.
Where's she
husband.
at? I can tell you.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I lived there for a year. So
I don't know off the top.
We'll
of my
talk.
head.
We'll talk offline. But anyway, there is a way you can absolutely take it there. Fill out the customs for it. They will send it United States Air Force, or it will definitely be Air Force on a package that's going from there to the United States. It'll be with a bunch of other stuff. It may take longer to get there, but they will. All they have to do is claim duties on it there, and you just tell them you'll pay them for it.
Yeah.
And then they'll send it on. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if they want to send it to Luke Air Force Base, I'm very close.
I mean, that's the same with Clarksville. If they want to, I'll make sure you get it. If they want to send it to Clarksville.
Exactly.
if you bought two.
With that one, with that second one in
We'll
there.
make sure you get one.
There's a tax on that.
But it's
Oh,
real
man.
easy. The military's real easy with it. The only time you can't do that is if you're, and of course you can still do it. You just can't get caught. But the only time you can't do it if you're in a country like any place in the Middle East, you can't send alcohol or receive alcohol. Now there's ways to get around this, but if you get caught, I've seen the penitentiary they have in the Middle East for people who do that stupid shit. And it's
And
not.
get caught. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds unfair.
okay.
I miss being on the ship.
Now ship you can do it too.
Oh yeah.
It's really easy to do it on a ship too, because all you have to know is the MAs and your postal people. That's it. It's gone. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay duty on it either.
No, used to put my stuff in the safe.
Mm-hmm.
I had the safe up in CIC.
We've all had those safes. I was because my rating was we looked at a bunch of we had security clearances and stuff. Our entire area, our like ready room and stuff was all no windows, locked, coded door, and all that. And we had all
Can't
kinds
come in
of
here.
yeah, we had all kinds of frivolous bullshit in there and propaganda and paraphernalia. I mean, at one point, my best friend was taking steroids and doing it right there in the
Oh, shit.
ready room.
Wow.
Because nobody could come in there unless you had a clearance.
Yeah, you can't come in that room. I don't give a shit.
And you
who
had to have
are.
the same clearance, and you also had to have need to know.
Yes. Can't come in here.
You can have the same clearance, but if you don't have the need to know, doesn't matter. So those sub guys is who's got it made. Those guys ship all kinds of frivolous shit from coast to coast and around the world.
Yep.
Because I know a bunch of those guys, and I'm like, wow, you guys had that on that and their big beards and long hair. I'm like, what in the world's going on? You guys pirates? You know?
Mhm.
I mean, they've been down there long enough. Shit probably starts to get a little bit strange.
Has to be a different type of pirate.
Well, that too, but I mean, like, it seems like it's like a special kind of crazy to like want to live in a compressed tube for months at a time
Underwater.
underwater.
yeah.
Exactly.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I just, yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think that's stupid.
I don't know. It's stupid. I just don't know.
Hang me from a helicopter. I'm totally down with that. Put me underwater, in a tube for endless months without
my
seeing
God.
anything outside. No.
I couldn't even do an MRI when they were doing the MRI on my lower back. It ran me into the MRI machine head first.
That freaks
And
people out.
I
yeah.
just made it all the way into the damn thing, and it's like, nope, hit the button, out now, out now, out now.
You know what's funny is the last time I was in an MRI, I fall asleep every time. Like every time I just like,
Yeah, there was no
because the
that.
vibration, it makes me go to sleep.
Mhm.
And it's almost
Yeah.
at the same decibels, in my opinion, as the like the aircraft I was around and stuff in the military. So it's just like, oh, it's like heaven. So anyway, I get in there and they have to check on me because I'm in third stage REM sleep for a 5-minute operation like going on, And like most people, like, do you need anything to calm you down before you go down? I'm like, well, I mean, are you gonna put me in that thing that's gonna make all the noise, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm good. Just put me
They
in
play
there.
music for you and shit, don't they?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
I
Yeah, but they also try to give you earplugs too because of the noise. And I was like, no, I want to
want to
hear.
hear all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna hear that.
That's my happy spot.
Yeah,
So-
the noise
Happy
wasn't
spot.
a problem. Noise wasn't a problem. It was just inside that tube. It's like, yeah, no.
That claustrophobia struck
You,
up.
you didn't like being inserted head first. I understand, brother.
There it is.
We had a funny joke about this, but we're trying to clean this channel up a little bit
Yeah.
and see what happens. We only have one viewer. So
Gross is the way. Maybe I don't know. To bring it back around a little bit, I guess I was gonna interject my opinions about the age because I guess I took the topic a little bit differently. Not like is there a certain age that's important versus like what do I think is the ideal age to be like, oh, I'm going to get excited when I see that kind of age statement on a bottle, kind of thing. And I always end up talking about rum and other shit, but like for whiskey, to me, it's 10 years. If I see an age statement of 10 years on a whiskey, if I've never seen it before, if I don't know anything about it before, I'm automatically going to be a little bit excited. Because I do think there is a floor on ages, with anything, obviously, but with whiskeys, if you don't see an age statement at all, or if it's like 2 years or whatever, you're like, it could be okay. I don't think I'm quite as particular as Jody is about those kinds of things, but there's also a solid chance it's going to taste way too young and it's going to be like ethanol. But for me, 10 years is kind of where it's at, where I might be willing to pay a little bit more if it's a known quantity, or might be willing to try it if I don't know anything about it. But beyond that, I start to wonder, like, is it really worth it? A 12-year, a 14, a 16, whatever it is, that you might see that it start to get really high in age, like the Dickel 15-year is actually pretty decent at the price point when it first came out. I got it for like $45-$50. It's pretty decent.
I still have that bottle if you want it.
But they have like, okay. But like they've come out with like a 16 after that. And I think we've had conversations in the past about 17. I'm like,
yeah, there's a 17.
There's no way it's going to be that much better. Like I just can't believe that it's going to be that substantially better.
See, that's why I disagree with you in some aspects. When you think about if you're talking about in the product line, not the product mix, the different products that are on that within that line or within that branding. But if you think about that product line, for example, Stag Junior or Stag, whatever it's called now, all right, it's good. But I would guarantee you, if we could all get it at $100 and get Stag Senior at $100, we're going to buy the hell out of Senior.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what that means. I mean, I know what that means, but I don't know what that's directed at.
Well, you're the one talking right now.
I think that's a. Well, there you go.
It could be.
I was going to try and clean it up a little bit, but I'm going to go with what Chuck said. But I guess they're not the same kind of product, obviously. You're talking about Stag Senior. It's not the same thing as a Dickel product, right?
That's not Dickel. Hold on, have you guys seen that Dickel meme?
The Dickel pickle.
Every time he says Dickel, he pops up with Dickel.
we're gonna talk about. Oh,
there's a I'll send it. I'll have to find it, but I'll send it later. It's a Dickel meme. It's kind of funny.
Oh man.
But see, I disagree with you there though, because that is the same line. It's just a different age statement, and it's also quite possibly in two different rick houses and in two different levels. That's possibly true, but they are supposed to be the same, but younger, right?
True. I mean, that is a fair point. I guess I tend to not think. There you go. Got that Elijah Craig 18.
That's solid, by the way. That is
very
real
good stuff.
You had
that's
that
how
here
you.
too.
Yeah, I
that's
did.
how you handle. That's how you handle 18-year oak.
I thought you were going to say something else when you said 18-year, and then I was like,
hey, easy. Easy.
Made it back with that. Anyway, I mean that is a fair point. I guess it's just what I guess probably think of the Dickel line of products. I'm not thinking, ooh, another year. Ooh, it's the 16 instead of the 15. I should get excited. I'm not gonna unless I get to try it, at a tasting or something like that, and it really blows my socks off. I go, wow, it really is that much better for 1 year difference because different rick house or different spot of the rick house and different conditions, different mash bill, whatever it is.
Another one though is
line.
Eagle Rare, 17, and then what is it? The other one, the 20-year.
Right,
I've never had the
20-year.
20-year, but the 17 is life-changing. That is freaking fantastic.
Sure,
that's
but
all from the same product line.
But that's a particular product though, is what I'm saying.
So is Dickel.
But you're missing my point. But that's okay.
Let's bring it product line and product mix. That's the reason why I'm challenging you on this.
Okay.
So if
That's
you were talking about, say, if you had George, what is it called? Is it called George Dickel? What is it called?
Dickel.
Okay, so if you had the I don't know, the goofy looking little squatty bottles, Can we talk about something else? Do Elijah Craig. All right, do Elijah Craig. I don't know who 3631.
Oh, I
I have no
know.
idea who it is.
Oh, we know.
Well, who is it?
Somebody's fucking with you. Though. That's all I know.
Oh Lord.
Not me.
It's been 3 years. He still doesn't know.
All right, you guys. I'm Verklempt. You guys talk amongst yourself.
So to finish my thought anyway, let me just
Finish your
finish
thought,
my
Dave.
thought briefly. For me to switch to a different kind of product other than whiskey, like a rum in particular, for me it's like a more exciting or kind of a sweet spot for age statement is gonna be like 20 years and up. Obviously, I'll buy something that's younger than that, but when I see something that's at least 20 years, I'm like, there's a really good chance this is going to be a good product, unless it's like the bullshit puffery where it's like up to 20 years or up to 23 years or whatever the hell. If it's really a 20-year product as a rum, like it's probably going to be good, based on my experience on things I've seen. Another thing I look at, and this has to do more with products that are not whiskey that tend to have like a higher floor and a lower ceiling in terms of quality and price. So like with whiskey, you can get very good whiskeys that are very cheap. We're all, fans of, Evan Williams and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But like with a rum, if I see a $20 rum, I'm like, that's going to be dog shit. Like that's going to be really bad.
That's a mixer.
Yeah, literally.
Good time.
About 85% of the time, yes.
Yeah. And the same with like, and I know you don't like Scotch, so I'll be brief about it, but like Scotch and Irish whiskey. If they're super cheap, I'm
Well, I
going,
like Irish
oh.
whiskey, you know that.
But like,
Irish
do you
whiskey
want,
is good stuff.
$18 Irish whiskey?
No.
You want
Right.
the Bushmills.
So, but you
want
also
the
very
basic
rarely
Bush.
see age statements, but it's a really nice thing to see when you do see them, especially on Irish whiskey. They're a little bit more common on Scotch. I'm more likely to try a Scotch that has an age statement on it in particular.
No, that would
Um,
be a good show ideas, age statements when it comes to Irish whiskey, because the Middletons that I have, that is,
Yeah.
dude, I fell in love with that the very first time,
yeah.
and I've
And
never
like
found it
Redbreast.
again. Redbreast is a
Um,
good one. Yep, I
yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah.
And of
The
course, green
Tall
dot,
Dude 12.
green
Yeah.
dot, yellow dot, blue dot, which I've
And
never
Green Dot's
had.
$80 now.
Herpy dot.
Yeah,
I
but
actually
that
passed
is,
on it today for the Bardstown.
Spot the super dot.
I just saw someone found a gold dot.
What is that?
Someone in a group just posted they had a gold dot.
Gold spot.
Gold, yeah, the gold spot.
Oh, okay.
I can't even imagine how much.
Which one's
that
the
is.
highest? Because it's
I thought it
green,
was
yellow,
blue. I thought blue
blue,
was.
and then
Gold spot's
gold?
not that expensive.
Oh, okay. I have
I
no.
thought
Sad?
so.
Seen
Are you
gold
sure
spot.
gold is not yellow? Because I thought that was yellow spot.
No,
I did.
it was gold. It said gold on the bottle.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
have to look that up.
I've never seen that. The only
They're
ones
all-
I've seen is green, yellow, and I've seen red once.
There's blue.
And I've never seen blue. I've been looking for
Okay.
blue.
Blue's a very high dollar one. Yeah, you'll not see that for what, like under 150 or something.
Yeah, my
Typically.
Costco gets them. I don't drink them enough to care, but maybe I'll grab
There's
one.
there's actually 3 greens. There are three different
shit.
variations of it.
I didn't
Damn.
know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
I really do like the
Yeah.
the green spot. That
Yeah.
was a good pickup that we had that time here at my
Mhm.
house.
Yeah,
I
green,
think
green and yellow I've had. I haven't had anything else.
I think the red is a 15-year.
It is.
Hmm.
I do remember
Ah.
that because I finished that one off myself. That was a good one.
Nice.
Nice. It's a good line, but that to say, like, you don't often see age statements on Irish whiskey. It is a pretty solid indicator of quality when you do see it.
I got a question for the group. So you guys were just talking about these different bottles.
Finish it
Not
off.
that I have anything against them, but I don't know. Maybe I don't have enough interest in it, or just from the reviews. But if I saw one, I would probably walk past it. Do you guys have a popular bottle that you guys will walk past just because it doesn't do anything for you?
Oh shit.
I can tell you this one that was for me for a long time was the Penelope. It took me a long time to ever purchase it because my independent liquor store guy was always trying to push it on me. I'm like, the last time you gave me something, it was that Kentucky Par, and that was horrible. All right, so I don't trust you.
I haven't had a single drink out of that bottle, by the way, since I got it from you. It just sits there. I'm like, someone really wants to know what overpriced whiskey tastes like.
Yeah. So it took me a long time. I walked past that for a good year before I ever bought some. And I bought some because of the toasted barrel. That's the reason why I bought it. And then I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And then I got they had one that had a rose on it. I forget what that was, but they had that one. And then I got the barrel strength. And that was like, man. So the short answer to your question is yes, have I? Absolutely. Are there ones today? I walk past Big Mustache all the time, which I'm drinking tonight, which I think is better than the Knob 12. But I do because it was supposed to be a limited release, and it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I see it every time I go to the store.
What, Big Mustache?
Yeah.
They got us with that, but it is good stuff.
The crazy thing is we talked about it so much, and then I think Jody finally sent me a bottle. I was happy to get it, and I'd be damned if 2 weeks later it's all over Arizona.
Wow.
Well, it's still not down here, so I go very
Keep them
sparingly.
coming.
Yeah, David, what about you?
I can send you a bottle if you want, Billy.
Yeah, I can definitely use.
Okay, I
another
got you.
one 'cause,
Got you.
David, what's a bottle you will walk past that's considered to be popular?
I walk past a bunch of like all of the barrel products. Whenever I see them, I automatically pass on them. It's just because for me, it's like if it's a super high price point, even if it's well spoken of, and I'm like, it's kind of too rich for my ability because I can get two of something else for the price of that. And it's not to say that it's bad, but like I know they're popular and I know they're probably pretty decent, but like I'm just like, because I know I'm going to buy it. I'm be like, am I going to hold off drinking this because I know how damn much it costs and how long is it going to be before I buy another bottle of this ever again? So I'll hold off and I'll buy,
So what made you
mid-tier shit
pull the
all the
trigger
time.
today on Bardstown? Because that wasn't cheap.
It was 68 after tax.
Okay.
So to me, that's not egregious, but like if it's, on this shelf 80 and up where I know I'm going to drop, 90 to 100, like it's going to be a lot more rare. And one of the reasons why I even went that high is like, I haven't bought a bottle in forever. Like, so I'm like, it's not going to kill me to pick one up. And I've been meaning to get something different. So
Okay.
to be honest, I was looking for the Uncle Nearest Rye and they were out. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Chuck,
There's been
Oh, go
quite
ahead,
a
Rob.
few.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's been quite a few I've walked by, but the other day, and just because it is coming up on St. Pat's Day,
Oh,
I've been
Yeah.
walking past that one out for a
Okay,
year.
so
Yeah.
hold on.
I've been walking
Now-
past that one in a long time. Too.
Okay, so
Mhm.
hold your horses right
I
there.
haven't
So the
opened
other
it
day-
yet.
So the other day I was in a liquor store, right? And I took a picture of there was like 3 different variations of the Kentucky Owl. And everybody was like, stay away from it. Stay away from it. So I walked away from it. So,
It's actually really good. It's just the price point for me.
it's the price.
yeah,
It's
the
the
price
price
point. I just thought it was interesting to see it up there.
If I have the
But-
money to pay for that, I'm gonna buy a Discovery bottle most likely.
Yeah, I the prices
Yeah.
was a turn off for me.
Mhm.
But what about you, Chuck? What's something that you walk past that's popular?
Okay. For one, I'm going to go with Heaven's Door.
Oh
Any of
yeah,
the-
I do that.
I
one.
saw
Yeah.
a score pick for that today, and I was like, nope.
I've never
Nope.
bought a Heaven's Door.
And
Okay.
a lot of the
I have
the
one.
bootleggers, I think it's called Bootleggers Edition, where
is,
it has
it
the
is.
leather box.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah, I haven't.
And I walked past that several times because they've had several others out. Any of the celebrity endorsed products, barring the one that Mike Rowe put out, I did pick a few of those up. The Nobel, and it was very good actually. But all the celebrity stuff, I tend to stay away from.
Yeah.
Like that. The one for Heaven's Door, all their products, I stay clear of those, and as well as the Kentucky Owl stuff since Dixon Dedman left. I just haven't been into it because I've had it afterwards, and it just seems like a price grab or a money grab now.
Well, I will tell you the St. Patty's one. I had that last year with Jeremy at his house.
Mhm.
and it was good. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was good. I still don't think it was worth the price point though.
But it's not $125, $150 good.
No.
No, it's definitely not. Like I said, if I'm gonna pay $120 for something, I'm gonna get Discovery, Bardstown Discovery, because that is good.
I agree.
Nice. Rob, what about you? What would you walk past?
Well, let's just. I haven't been traveling as much, so I walk past a lot in the PA liquor store every day when I go in, because it's one of those things where I go down and go, heard bad things, got it. The boys trashed that one. I ain't touching that one. And the other, I don't ever get there early enough to get things like Eagle Rare when it comes in, because if you're not at the store when they open the doors at 9:30,
Yeah.
You ain't
getting it.
right.
That's Virginia. Yeah, it's Virginia.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the Virginia thing.
Yep.
I just saw somewhere there's some guys in here in the Pittsburgh market that know there's 2 stores that are getting their deliveries tomorrow that have Eagle Rare and Blanton's on it, and they're already sitting in the parking lot.
Jesus.
I've actually been able to see Blanton's more on the shelves lately. Now it's at an obscene price. It's at $100, $120, but I have seen it on the shelves. I actually bought one down at that Hood liquor store I tell you guys about for $80. It was before Christmas.
Okay.
It's the same place you paid $70 for that Eagle Rare.
Yeah, I bought it on the same day. Remember?
Yeah,
We were
which
together.
is fucking hilarious with your question earlier, Billy. Like, which one would you get? He actually got them both at the same store.
Good man. Good man.
Listen,
They were the same price. And what's funny is
No.
David goes, "Are you going to pay that for that?" I'm like, "I don't know. What was the price on it? I didn't pay
Yeah,
attention."
he bought it before he even figured out how much it cost, because they had
Listen.
they had several on the shelf, and I was like, "Oh shit, they
found
got
that.
Eagle Rare." I grabbed one, and I was like, "Hey, what is the price point on that?" And he was like ringing up already. He's like, "Oh, it's 70." I was like, "Putting it back."
listen.
Yeah.
I got the Belvini, the Caribbean cast,
Mhm.
at a Hood store. Like it was just sitting up there, and what made me ask is it was completely covered in dust. It didn't have the sleeve; it was just the bottle, but it was like it had like spider webs on it. Like it was sitting at the top.
That sounds like Florida.
And I asked the guy, I said, "Listen, I think that's a cool looking bottle, and I'm trying not to cheese myself and give it away." And I'm like, "How much you want for that bottle?" He's like, "Man, that thing's been up there almost a year." He's like, "Give me $30." I was like,
What the
30?
fuck?
Get the fuck out of here.
And I was like, 30?
It's like $100.
I said
got any more
30 because I was I said 30 because I was
Dang.
excited.
I was
He's
happy
like,
to pay $69 for the fucking thing.
Give me 20.
Billy, I'm
That's-
not
I was like,
traditionally a
okay.
hater, but right now I'm just a little bit of a fucking hater. Okay,
Oh,
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm just a little
it
bit
was one of
salty.
to me, I think it was one of those things where the bottle ended up at the wrong store.
Billy, was he
And it-
Indian?
They didn't know what the hell. it was.
No.
no, first of all, those. I'm not. Never mind. That'd be an offline.
Well, that's why I was asking, because I would have been shocked if it was, but yeah.
Okay.
They
But
know.
here's what it was. I went in because I went in to play the lotto because it was a high number, and for whatever reason, the store was relatively empty. So I went in and I glanced up and did a double take. So I was like, So I felt like I hit the lotto. So it happens.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
I would
yeah.
see if I see Eagle Rare and Blanton's in the Hood store, I'm definitely buying.
What's the Hood store for me? That's where I found the Elmer Tea.
Nice.
And the guy was
There
like,
you go.
"You want some? I have you. You always buy all the good stuff from me, and I don't get all this other people like that. I have some Elmer Tea." And I'm like, I might be interested.
Just a little bit.
I might be interested.
Twist my arm. Twist my arm.
All right, so Gino, what would you walk past that's considered to be pop?
Well, what I've been walking past lately is a lot of the barrel selections.
Okay.
Blue Run, I think it's overpriced, and I do enjoy Blue Run stuff.
It is
walk past
good.
that all the
It
time.
is overpriced, but I
And
Yeah.
the last couple times, it's been the Stellan Black Label. I've walked past it, and
Okay.
I've picked up other stuff.
Wow.
Ooh.
so I have
Don't
not
do
tried the
that.
Stellan Black Label.
We might need to talk about that, though.
Yeah,
Well-
you don't know what you're missing.
We might need to talk about that.
I do understand that, But there's been other things that I've been wanting to pick
Wait a
up.
minute, let's go back
before
to
that.
the Stella and Black label. Is that so? You said I don't know what I'm missing. What's it like? Tell me. Is it worth
Fire.
it?
Yeah.
Pew pew pew.
It's good stuff. It's better than blue, of course, but
Yeah.
depends on which one you get. I mean, there's several now. There's
Well, keep your
Equinox.
phone on
there's,
you tomorrow. I may give you a call.
there's several of them out. of
That
the black
Equinox that
labels.
Chuck sent.
I
oh
don't
my
think it's got.
goodness.
I don't think the label says Equinox on this one.
Yeah, there's several.
I
out
could be.
there.
I could be wrong.
Nah, I don't have any black.
I do like
Okay.
the Stellum, and I still have the blue that Chuck sent me. It's really good. I just have
Is that
because
the
it
rye?
took. No, the blue is not the
No.
rye. It's bourbon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's solid. It's very good.
their ryes are good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I
stored
think
back
the
right back
biggest.
there.
I
Delicious.
think the biggest reason I walked past it. I know you guys have talked good of it, but for me, it's over $100, and it's like
It is.
yeah,
I was gonna say it is.
yeah,
Okay.
Shit.
and
Ouch.
that's,
might be a
that's-
reason to
that's
walk
the
past
reason
it.
why I've been walking.
I think I
past
saw
it.
it tonight. It wasn't that much.
Wow.
I'll
Okay.
double check. I'm going to be in the store tomorrow because there's things I want to pick up for the weekend.
Mm.
But yeah, I'll
I
if
just
it's
think it's
there and
funny
if it's
you
the
were
price
to
point
listen
that I
to
think it
us,
is,
It's,
Yeah,
if
I'll
one
send
of the
it- I'll
three
send the
people
group
were
a
to
picture.
listen to us, on just
Cool.
just listen to our conversation, it'd be like, wow, they're at the liquor store almost every day. Like you were telling us whole story, and you're like, I walked past
Like
this. I
this.
walked past it earlier today. But tomorrow I'm gonna be in the liquor store, so I'll just check it out.
well, the one store I go to on Wednesdays is because Wednesdays they have a 10% off. So yep, I'm
Yeah,
there on
we're
Wednesday.
yeah
And
Wednesday
there's
and
the other
Friday.
store I check on Friday.
Yeah, we
And
have
what-
Wednesday and Friday here. But
And
yeah.
what about you, Mark?
So-
what's something popular you walk past?
Here's the two that I walk past all the time, and only because I have way too many of both. E.H. Taylor singles. I'm sorry, the small batch.
Mhm.
And actually, I didn't realize I had so many single barrels. I had no clue. I just realized been sitting about 7 or 8 of them. I had no clue.
Oh wow,
But
I've
yeah.
got one.
And well, yeah, I don't have as many now. That's another conversation. But,
Oh, you left them in Georgia.
hey, we'll talk about that after the show. Hey Tiff. But yeah, so the Elijah Craig barrels, the Elijah Craig's
We're so mature.
yeah, the Elijah Craig bottles. Just again, I have the Alpha, the Bravo, the Charlie, the ABC. I got a couple of toasted picks. I got a couple of the private barrels. So when I see those now, yeah, I do walk past them.
Mhm.
Only because, well, two reasons. One, because I got a few, but also the fucking price keeps ticking up. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, they do.
calm down.
So I got a follow up question to Billy's questions that he was asking, because I've heard a couple of people talk about the barrel picks and stuff of that nature. I can tell you what, and I got hooked on this back in 2020, I think. If I come across a Maker's Mark store pick, barrel pick, or something of that nature, I buy it every time. Like it's like I just can't not do it.
Mhm.
Is there something that you guys pick up or you come across and you're like, I didn't come in here for this, but that's what I'm going to get? I'm not talking about
Yeah.
BTAC or
no, those
No,
I'm talking.
I had to stop buying Maker's Mark. I know I'm sitting on at least 30 to 40 of those damn things. I had to stop
Jesus
every-
Christ.
because
That's Sagamore.
they're all so good and they're all so different.
Yes, I agree.
Mhm.
I'm like,
No, that's
shit.
Sagamore last week. That was a store pick.
Was that a double?
No, it's just
That double is pretty good too, dude.
it's
God.
just straight rye. It's their barrel pick for the store. It was in there. I was not planning to pick it up, but somehow it came home with me.
So
Somehow.
I was
So
just
for
curious,
me,
but we are at. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, real quick. I'm a Mictus fans boy. So
Mm.
sour batch. Sour mash. Yeah.
Sour
Sour
Mash,
Mash.
Yeah.
That's
Make
Sour
it-
Mash is good, man. That's good.
Every time I see it
Yeah, it
in
is.
Total Wines, it's like
what, $50 or so?
$50.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
pass
man.
that up every
And,
time. That is something I pass
and-
up every time.
I can't get enough of it. I probably have like 4 bottles of it, and if I go in there this weekend, and I see it, I'm gonna still buy it.
All right. So
I'm
we're at
Same way on the rye.
So we're at the top of the hour. So we're going to end our show here momentarily because I want to say goodnight to everybody. But I'm going to kind of tease something. Why is it? And I don't want anybody to answer. This is going to be for another show. Why is it Woodford and the Double Oaks and stuff like that are not at the top of mind all the time? Because that is a fantastic whiskey. With that being said, you guys, everybody have a wonderful night. See you on the flip side.
Good night.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Be good to yourselves.
Go Woodford.
There it is. Cheers.
And I actually know the perfect answer to that